to E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video we're going to do the review for Walking Dead, this week's episode. And I know I didn't do my review last week. For some of you who might have seen the video I put up a little earlier, the update, I had been sick for the last week. I'm feeling much better now. I'm still a little congested, but nonetheless, I'm feeling better, so we'll get right back on track. So just for just a short amount of time, discuss last week's episode real quick. I thought it was a good episode, and introducing Alexandria is something we've all been waiting for. And the only thing that annoyed me about that episode a little bit was Rick was a little bit too cautious. And on one hand, I understood why. Obviously, he's got his son and his daughter, but from a story perspective and for the show, I think it was a little bit, after a while, just got a little bit overbearing. But overall, the ending scene was very touching with him hearing the children playing, pretty much confirmed for him that it might just be something different this time. So, but that leads us into this week's episode, and a lot different this week, a lot different. I mean, the one thing I kind of saw right away was the group almost seems, for lack of a better term, institutionalized into the world around them. You know, they're so used to being on guard, being on alert, not sleeping, fighting, things of that nature, that they were just, I mean, even when Carl and Rick went into their house, I mean, they slowly opened the door, they're creeping in, and that just gives you an idea of just how much this group has been through, pretty much from day one. You know, I mean, they've had settlements, you know, they had the farm, they had the prison, but nothing was ever 100%. And this community obviously is in pristine condition. I mean, the houses are beautiful, marble countertops, people going to school, Rick's getting a haircut, shaving. So a much different environment compared to what they've had in the past. And so it's almost like a shell shock. You know, these guys have suffered so much that to them it's the too good to be true deal is basically what it is. But I thought it was a good episode, really kind of showing you, you know, when they're out in the environment with the zombies around and things like that, it's natural to see them like this. It makes sense. It's almost something we're used to. So to see them in their current environment and see them acting the way they act, you're almost like, dude, calm down, look at this place. But you know, it's because of what they've been through. And you know, when they when they all camped out in the house, it was very weird to watch, even as a viewer, because I'm used to seeing them struggle, because I'm used to seeing them on high alert. You know, I think that they obviously took the right precautions going in there. I was a little surprised they gave their weapons in so, you know, willingly, but I don't think Rick felt threatened. I think when he had that conversation that was taped, I think he felt coming out of that, all right, these people are not a threat. These people are not a threat at all. And you could see that as the episode carried on. You know, the supply run, for example, was just a prime example of this group that they're with now. These people in Alexandria, they just don't get it. You know, I mean, Glenn's been doing supply runs for years. He knows how to get it done. He knows the cautions you have to take. This guy, they want to tie up a walker because it killed one of their men. I mean, it's just, that's little immature bullshit. You know, you're putting people's lives at stake so you can have a trophy. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And a zombie trophy at that. I can understand if you went out for a supply run and you kill a fucking minotaur. You understand? Then maybe. But a zombie, I mean, really? Come on. So, but that was a good scene. I like that scene a lot because it really kind of shows you where Glenn has come from. I mean, if you remember season 1, Glenn, you know, he was quick, he was smart, wasn't exactly the toughest dude on the block. And now, you know, here's this ROTC thinking he's the hottest shit since sliced bread, and Glenn gives him a nice knock to the kisser and puts him on his ass. That just goes to show you that this group that's in Alexandria now is not to be fucked with. So yeah, so that's that. And then, of course, shaved Rick. Wow, has it been a long time since we've seen that? This guy has grown a Furby on his face, more or less, and now he's back to being, or back to looking, I don't want to say being, back to looking like Rick of old. Carol's interview, her testimony was very interesting because she said everything about herself before she became the Carol that we know now. And I think that was her being strategic. I think she figures if this group is somewhat of a threat, and this is my opinion, I think that on one hand, if she thinks this group is a threat, she kind of wants them to be lulled to sleep by her. She doesn't want to come off as a threat, so that way she can, if something happens, she can come out and surprise them. So very smart. But on the other hand, it may also be because she wants to be there, she wants to be accepted, and she doesn't want them to know about the things she's done. But I really think it's the first one. I really think, because she's a very clever woman, and I think at this point she's like, all right, well, I'm going to come off as my charming old self, so that way they don't think anything of it, and if they try to get slick, you know, I'll come out and I'll do my damage like I did in Terminus. So very cerebral, very smart on her. Michonne obviously is probably the most level-headed in the group right now, because on one hand, she's giving it an opportunity, she's being objective, she's giving this group in Alexandria the benefit of the doubt. However, she's not letting her guard down. She is on board with Rick in terms of keeping, you know, kind of keeping that eye open. And I do agree with what Carl said about Alexandria being weak. I think that's another thing in this show you could see, in this episode you could see clearly. It's a very weak group. They don't look like they have any season at all, and what confirmed that was, you know, talking about how things started there, how it happened, and you know, they're obviously just not seasoned. And Carl's right; they are weak. You know, it's a nice place. It's a good opportunity for the group, but it's gonna have its issues. If you've read the comic, you know what's going on. But again, number one, I won't say anything. I don't want to spoil it. But number two, there's no guarantee that it's going to follow the comic. They're going to take a different path. They usually always do. It'll be interesting to see what path they take. So finally, at the end, I thought I was pretty surprised. Not that I thought I was surprised. I was a little surprised at what Rick said. Because when he came out in his cop uniform, which I was kind of like geared, I was like, wow, look at that. Damn, old Rick is back or whatever. He comes out. And Carol says the same thing Carl says. Carol says, I think they're weak, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to get weak. I don't want us to get weak. Everybody's getting weak. And Rick is like, no, that's not going to happen. You know, and when he said that wasn't going to happen, I thought maybe he'd come out and said, I said to myself, he's going to say, we'll make them stronger. No. He said, and if they can't deal with that, or if they can't make it, or something along those lines, he said, we'll just take this place. Whoa. Definitely didn't expect that. Definitely did not expect that. That was a little surprising. So we'll see how things play out. He's got a position of authority, as does Michonne. Obviously, you know, that was a smart move on the leader's part. I forget her name. I think it was Deanna. I think it was Deanna, something like that. And she was very clever to give it to him. From our perspective, knowing the group, from Alexandria's perspective, not knowing Rick's group, I don't think that was a smart move at all. Even though we know Rick, for the most part, is a good guy, he's not at that place anymore. I think it's still there, but not yet. I don't think he's gone back to that yet. I don't think he's found that even flow where he can still be the Rick of old, but channel the new Rick when he needs it. I think right now it's new Rick, and old Rick is still in the back burner. So I don't know how that bodes well for Alexandria, but on the flip side of that, they need him. They really do need a guy like him and his group to come in here and toughen up Alexandria, because these people are weak. I mean, that was clearly displayed on this episode, and it's going to be interesting to see how this transition goes, not only for Rick and his group, but for the group in Alexandria. Furthermore, whatever dangers lie out there. I mean, if you remember, when Tyrese died, that town, there was some writing on the walls about the wolves and stuff like that. There was the bodies that came out of that trailer, or that truck, that were severed arms and legs, but the torsos and the heads of zombies. So there's obviously a group out there that may not be very friendly. Some of us know who they might be. It could be a completely new group. We don't know. But one thing we do know is that Alexandria is not safe. It's not safe. They're not. They can't even protect themselves. They're not safe from the elements. They don't do supply runs very clever. Obviously, that's an area that Glenn's gonna have to take over. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. Period. They need Rick's group more than Rick needs them. And if Rick and their group wanted to be hostile, yeah, they could go in there and just clean house and take over. And if they did that, I don't think anybody could ever run up in there, to be honest, with them in there and running the show. But the comic book readers, know the deal. However, things change from the comics to the show, so I'm looking forward to see just what changes there might be, and I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna kind of play out. So, but overall, good episode. I'm still very happy with the second half so far. In terms of last week's episode, again, like I said, I thought it was solid. Rick's overprotectiveness and overcaution was a little bit overbearing at times. The scene with the car driving through the zombies at night and all the blood splattering, I thought that was great. This week, the zombie with his skin coming off his back, I thought Tara was going to bite the dust, but no, she made it for another week. And we'll see what happens. It's getting good. We still have to see if Morgan will ever catch up. We'll see if there's another death on the horizon. But Alexandria, this is what we've all been waiting for. It looks pretty good. We'll see how things play out. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the Nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit E.T.N's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.